Come on in the room, y'all. Come on, come on. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it just for a few moments. Let's talk about it for a few moments. So do me a favor. Um, my stream. I'm on both. I'm on both platforms. So what I'm doing is I'm streaming on my streaming network, and then I'm going directly in with um, Facebook. So I'm actually on Facebook, actually on both platforms. Um, One platform, I didn't put the title. On the other platform, I did put the title. So just hang in there with me. So if you're coming in on one platform, do me a favor. Just shout out to me and say hello so I can know who you are. In my comments, I can see you because on one platform, I can't see you at all. I can't see who's actually on until you say something. With Facebook, after you're on for a little while, most times it'll kind of let the let you know that it's that you're online. So just say something to me and let me know that you're online. So, but we just want to talk a little bit tonight. We just want to talk about this subject because we need to. It's a subject that we need to address, and we need to address it head on because we've been having a lot of issues have been going on in the body. In the church, in society, people are struggling. They're struggling with a with their lifestyles. And they're struggling with what is going on in their bodies and what is going on in their minds. And so when you come into a world of uh, of what we would call of who we are, the church, and then within the function of the church is Christianity. And Christianity is a religious system that that strives uh, in hey, how you doing, Apostle Michelle Cruz? That strives uh, to lead one to righteousness and perfection. And so when you come into that world, when you come into that world, and you come into a world that is structured around heterosexualism versus homosexuality. There's this cloud, if you will, and it's not as prevalent as it used to be in the 60s and the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. It wasn't a thing that you could just be openly gay. So what happens is you subdue it, and you suppress it, and you hide it behind other things. But what ends up happening is throughout the suppression of your feelings, you try to engage in uh, actions that would be accepted as normal in society. So you try to go and you get a wife, or you go and you get a husband, and you try to live that life, that heterosexual life, and you create an image that uh, society pushes you and pressures you to have. And so you end up engaging into an area that you're really not comfortable with, and you really aren't a part of. And so what you end up doing is you do all of the things that hey, Lamar Frazier, how are you? Hey, baby, I see you came on. And so you end up doing the things that society um, says is the norm, and uh, it is actually the norm. So you end up doing all of the things that progress towards a life of heterosexuality, and so you live your life that way. But what ends up happening is you go through the process. You go through the process, and you're constantly in a battle with who you are versus what you are doing. You're constantly in a battle. You're struggling to live a life that isn't who you are, but you've put yourself in this panoply, and you structured yourself around what is normal. Hey, Cola, how you doing? You structure yourself what is supposedly normal. I'm not, hear me say, I'm not saying natural. I'm just simply saying what is normal. What is normal. So what you do is you live your life. You live your life. You live your life normally. Hey, Erica Kane, you live your life normally, and you go get a wife, and you go get a husband, and you really don't even like that lifestyle. You don't like him, and you don't like her, and what you end up doing is you end up corrupting their life, and you end up making their life a struggle, because you don't like the idea of a woman when you want to be a woman. You don't like the idea of man when you want to be a man. You want to be, but you're struggling with the identity. So what you do is you go and you marry somebody, and you hey shirts, and you go and you marry somebody that is straight, that is a true heterosexual. And so what you do is, hey Natasha, what you do is you start this process of uh, degradation. You start living your life in resentment, and so because you're living your life in a resentment, you start to take it out on the other person. Women do this to men, and this is what's happening a lot. Women do this to men. You will make your husband out to be some sex crazed, demon, because he wants to have sex with you. But you don't like having sex with men because you're a lesbian, and so what you end up doing is you make him to be wrong for wanting to have sex with you, and you his wife. You gaslighted him for doing what's natural to him, wanting to have sex with his wife. The man do the same thing. You gaslight her, you make her feel bad about wanting to have sex with you when you married her and she's your wife and he's your husband. Then what you do is you hide all of this behind your masculinity and your femininity. And so then you leave a person that you married out in the cold because they can't understand what's happening to them. So now they start owning issues that are not even their issues. They start owning issues that are not even their issues. They start feeling bad about what they should be okay with. He started feeling bad about wanting to have sex with you. She starts feeling bad about wanting to have sex with you. She still starts to feel bad about wanting to be intimate with you. He feels bad about wanting to be, when these are supposed to be a natural and a normal progression in marriage. Don't marry folk that are straight when you gay. Don't do it. We have a progressing issue that is happening in the church with gays marrying straight people, and then we take them on this emotional journey, and now we're Shante. Oh, I don't think you even listening to what I said. I said both. I said both men and women. I never just put it made it one sided, Shante. You ain't even listening. You just came in on that part, and that's all you heard, and you commenting on something you ain't even listening to fully. But that's okay. So we have these issues that's going on, and people are marrying people. Yeah, they're confused, and people marrying folk that they should not be marrying. You should not be engaging in activities with people that you are not interested in. Now, I understand this. Hear me say this. I understand that you're trying your best. Okay, you're trying your best, and you're working through how you feel, and so you know that what is right, and you're journeying, and you're moving in that directions towards that righteous movement. Hey James, how you doing, man? You're moving towards that righteous movement, and so you are struggling to fight. You're fighting what we call that good fight of faith, and you're fasting and you're praying and you're seeking God, and you're doing all of the things that are necessary to maintain a lifestyle that is straight. You're trying to live heterosexual. So you're warring with the process, and so because you're in a battle with the process, you go and you marry somebody, and you marry them with every intent to be with them and with them only. You're not moving in a direction of homosexuality, but it is your struggle. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about that person that is living their life in this way, or that person that has let go of what is right, and they start to go back into that lifestyle, and then they bring somebody along with them in that lifestyle, and now they taking this person on this journey of despair, this journey of loneliness, this journey of darkness. The stories that I've heard uh, people talk about, it's really been troubling to me. Um, what people talk about when they're engaged into a relationship with somebody that's gay. They literally go through the pits of hell, the torment that happens as they journey through this process, because uh, what is happening is this person is struggling with their identity, or they're not struggling at all, they're just living this lifestyle. So what comes with the lifestyle, and the issues that come with it, the anger and the resentment and the guilt, the shame. I can't I can't the person can't go and tell their spouse that they don't like them, or they can't go and just say that to their spouse that that they don't like men or they don't like women after you've been married to this person for 5 years, 10 years, or however many years, 2 years, 3 years. It would be really hard for you to go and say to your spouse that, hey, Lanier, how you doing? And say to your spouse, who you love, because you think you love them, but or you have some emotional connection with them. It would be really hard for you to go to them and tell them that you are now gay, when in fact you were gay when you met them. The other dynamic that we have to watch out for is the signs. We got to watch out for the signs. The signs are there. The signs are there. We see these things, but we choose to not see them. We walk into these situations with our eyes wide shut. You're right, Natasha. It's real and not spoken of. It's not. It's a real issue for you now to go and say, because not only, watch this, not only is your spouse being affected, the whole family dynamic gets affected by what is happening. The kids, if there's kids involved, in-laws, cousins, everybody is now, what's happening, but there's signs that actually go along with the process, and you have to be discerning enough, and you have to be real enough with yourself to address what you feel and address what you see. Hey, Nefertiti, how you doing? And address what you feel. And I sense something that is not right here. I start seeing the signs because a person can't live a lie for too long. The real them has to come to the forefront. You don't midstream decide to be a certain way. You were already struggling with it. You were already walking through the process of either deciding on whether this is what you're going to do and this is what you're going to be, or you literally are that way. And now you're using this as a vehicle to cover up who you truly are. So what you're doing now is this: you're using your spouse as a shield to hide behind. It will eat them alive and cause them to exhibit behaviors indicative of their true character, but will feel weird. I gotta let me see. I gotta hit that. It will feel weird to those who haven't experienced the real them. Man, real talk. So now you are here, and you're using your spouse to hide behind. You're using your spouse as a what'd you say, a beard, but you're using your spouse as a camouflage. couch or a shield to hide, and you think that you're hiding, and you think that you're getting by, and you think that don't nobody see and don't nobody know what's going on. But folks see, but folk can't say nothing because it's not their business to say nothing. But folks see what's going on. Folks see you. They see your movement. They see what's happening. But they can't say nothing for the sake of. Man, that stronghold, right? That only God is equipped to handle. Yeah. We can't handle that process. Because, and I don't want to get into the spiritual dynamics around it, because I don't want Facebook to block me, and because I just wanted to just kind of talk about this process right here, but the dynamics around that are so vehement. What's up, Rich? Are so vehement that you will not be able to. As a matter of fact, you won't even handle it. You're gonna have to just do one thing. You're gonna have to just walk away. You're gonna have to walk away. You're not going to be able to walk this out with somebody that's not committed to the process. The process, the process to be delivered and set free is a long process. It's a long process. It's a process that takes time, and extreme dedication. It takes a astronomical amount of thanks, Rich. It takes an astronomical amount of discipline to be able to walk this thing out. And if your spouse is not equipped to handle that, your spouse is going to fall by the wayside. But we can't we can, but we can't. We can hold you accountable for taking that person down this journey of pain. And hear me say this: when you're trying to do right. I believe it was Pastor, I can't think of her name. She's over in Sacramento. And she gave her testimony, and it was so powerful, and it was so prolific. But she gave her testimony. Her testimony, she said that she was married to this prolific preacher. And they were married for some years, and they were great together, doing ministry at an extremely high level. He traveled the country, traveled the world, preaching the gospel. And he got sick, and he kept getting sick. He kept getting, I think, colds, and he kept, he would get a cold, and he seemed like he would get better, and then he would go back, oh, hey, Najiba. Then he would get back sick again. And they couldn't understand what was going on. They couldn't figure out what was going on. But what they did was they went to the doctor, and they did every test known to man. Hey, Cherie, they did every test known to man, and nothing came back. They couldn't figure it out. So they were struggling with the idea of, I think, a HIV test, because he's a man of God, and she's a woman of God, and they're doing ministry, and they're struggling with that process. And so they get the HIV test, and the HIV test comes back positive. HIV test comes back positive. So now she's upset, and so she asked him, did you? And he immediately says, no, this didn't happen. I never went outside the marriage on you with a man. I never did anything like that. Um, I I've been faithful to you the whole time, but this was before you. So now watch this, watch this. She now has to go through the process of watching her husband die because it progressed. By the time they found out, it had progressed past the HIV stage and it had gotten into the AIDS stage. And now she has to walk through this process of watching her spouse die because of his life choices. He then interpolated her into his life, and now she has to carry this burden, this emotional burden. She has to keep secret. We got to do now. We got to do the cover process. Now we got to take him through and almost lie and say, we got the church cancer because hey, Thomas, how you doing, man? Because now we can't let the church know. We can't let the people know that you are gay, and you're dying from AIDS, and you've traveled the world preaching the gospel. And so now we gotta figure out what we're gonna do. We gotta figure out how we're gonna manage this process. And so now she has to walk through and watch her husband health digress, and watch a man that she has this image of. She has to watch him deteriorate and break down. She got to carry him through this. According to her, she took it like a champ. But the point I'm getting at is why does she have to carry that burden? Why she got to carry that burden? Why she got to walk through this heavy Honda Jeep? Why she got to walk through this? Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Don't pull people into your issues because of the emotional trauma that goes along with that. It's debilitating because I'm constantly taking on, and I'm constantly owning, I'm constantly embracing I don't want to call it that, but I'm constantly having to embrace energy that is not my energy. But I gotta keep on feeling the pain of what you got going on. I gotta keep on walking through that. I gotta keep on, and I don't know what's happening with you. I just know that I'm feeling some kind of way. I just know that I'm struggling with the process. I just know that I'm in pain, because I don't know why I'm feeling this way, because you're making me feel a certain type of way. As I said earlier, you gaslighting a person because you don't want them touching you. You don't want them touching you. You don't want them to put their hands on you because that's not who you want. That's not your desire. So you constantly rejecting them, but at the same time, you are pulling them towards you. But you're rejecting them because your struggle, you going back and forth, you're wavering back and forth, and you are in turmoil yourself, and you are struggling to maintain the integrity of who you are. So today you strong, and you strong today, and you gonna conquer it today, and tomorrow you weak, and you're not gonna conquer it. You're gonna give in to it. And then, so now I'm gonna give into it. So now I gotta act a certain way. Because while I'm struggling and while hey Cerise, watch this. Um, the Bible says it like this. This is what the Bible says. This is what the Bible says. This is what the Bible says. The Bible says that when a thing has been cleaned out of a human, when these spirits have been cleaned out, they've been cleaned out, they've been cast out, and you've gone through a cleansing process. Whether you believe it or not, um, emotions are connected to that demonic influence. Okay, they're very much conflated into the dynamic of what is happening. So when a person goes through a cleansing and a healing process, their emotions are at the same time experiencing some release. And so as you are becoming free, your emotions are becoming free as well. Now, there's moments where the mind and the emotions, hey, faith and the emotions are not fully connecting to the deliverance process, but and they have to catch up. But the emotions are experiencing the presence and the power of deliverance. And so when you're going through that process, of deliverance, you are now becoming free from a mental space, and you're becoming free from a physical space. Your body has become free of what is inside of you that is not connected to God. The thing that is connected to God is the spirit. The spirit does this. The spirit is engaging always in bringing your soul into subjection to what is the mind of the spirit. So it's always moving to bring you into a space and a place of freedom, to be able to hear what God is trying to say to you, what God is saying to you. And so what he's saying to you is always, he wants you to walk towards him. He's never rejecting you. He's always pulling you towards him. So we lay hands on you, or they lay hands on you, and they pray for you, you, and they get you free. They get you emotionally free. They get you your body free and get you cleansed out. And now what you're supposed to do is, hey, Denise, what you're supposed to do after deliverance happens, you're supposed to now take and fill your body with the presence. Hey, Charlie, you're supposed to take and free your body with the presence. So watch this. If you don't, the Bible talks about how the devil is constantly coming to see what is going on with you. He's always coming to see. He's always probing the situation. Look what he tells. Look what God tells Satan. God tells Satan when he brings Satan, when Satan comes to the meeting, when he's meeting with the sons of God, and Satan comes to the meeting. And God tells him, have you considered my servant Job? And Satan says, yes, I have. But, there's something that you have around him that won't allow me to touch him. And so, I've been going around about, seeking, going to and fro. Hey, Beverly, going to and fro. I'm moving around here. I'm checking the scene out. I'm checking out where I can get in and where I can fit in and where I can destroy. And so I've been over there checking Job out, but I do understand that Job has been walking in principle. He's been walking in principle. He's been walking by the Spirit, and when he's walking by the Spirit, he's untouchable to the movement of Satan. So he's moving and he's walking by the Spirit. So he's walking in principle. So I can't not get to him, but I've been watching him. I've been checking him out, and I know you got a hedge around him, so I can't get to him. So he's always watching. He's always checking out the movement. He's always wanting to come and see what you're doing since you've been connected to God. He wants to come and see. So, he's going to come. He's checking the scene now. So the Bible says that he comes and he looks inside of you and he sees that there's nothing there that has filled up the voids or filled up the existence of you. It's empty. You haven't connected yourself to what is a relevant source of feeling power. You haven't been connecting yourself to that. So what he does is he says, okay, I see that there's nothing there. So let me go get 7. He goes and he gets 7 and he comes back. And the Bible declares that the person becomes worse. That's right, Nefertiti. The word is a sword. The person becomes worse. So I'm saying all that to say this. Hey, Pamela, I'm saying all that to say this. You're struggling to live a heterosexual lifestyle. If you're struggling in your heterosexuality, hey, Anthony Williams, how you doing, man? Hey, Pamela Rideau, how you doing? If you're struggling in your sexuality, don't get married. Don't bring nobody into your stuff, because they shouldn't have to carry that burden. That burden should not be theirs. I know the vows say for better or for worse, through sickness and in health. I know. Hey, Gloria, I know it says all of that, but that is not what it's talking about. You don't bring this into a union that is sanctioned by God and cause folk to, like I talked about this sister. She had to walk with this man and watch this man die. She had to bury her husband. She had to live with, for some time, the shame of it all. She had to live with the shame of it all. Am I? She had to live with the shame of it all. Why? Why does she have to live with that? Why does he have to live with that? The shame. Hey, Naima, why does he got to live with that? Why does she got to live with that? The shame. Why do I have to? Why do I have to feel bad about wanting what's supposed to be mine? What's up, Lavelle? Why should I feel bad about wanting what's supposed to be mine? You're supposed to be my wife. Why should I feel bad about wanting you? Because you gay, and you making me feel bad about wanting you. Bishop Garrison was telling the story one time. He was telling this story, and the sister came up to him and said, "You need to talk to your deacon, because he dealing with lust. He lusted. He got a lustful spirit." So Bishop Garrison, he goes and he confronts the brother. He says to the brother, "Hey man, what's going on, man? Your wife told me that you dealing with lust, that you lusted." He said, so the brother says to Bishop Garrison, he says, "Did she tell you who I was lusting after?" And he said, "Who?" He said, "Her. He's lusting after his wife." Turns out she was a lesbian. She was a lesbian. She had lived her life as a lesbian before she married him. Didn't tell him any of that. So now he's chasing after her, trying with all of his might to stay saved and stay committed to, and not go and get and have an extramarital affair, only to find out that his wife is a lesbian. People are really good at projecting. They find ways to project. They find ways to project their issues onto other people. People are very cunning with how they take what's going on inside of them and project it over to you, and make you feel bad about what's happening inside of them. People will transfer. People will transfer. Hey, son. People will transfer their energy. What's up, Derek? How you doing, man? People will transfer their energy onto you. And you know, you're sitting here, sitting in the dark, lonely, depressed, feeling some kind of way, and you don't know why you feeling the way you feeling. You can't understand it, but this energy in your home that is so thick that you can cut it with a knife, and you don't understand what's happening. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how to feel about loving this person because they making you feel bad about being in love with them. They're taking you into dark places emotionally, taking you, making you feel so inadequate about who you are, all because they gay and won't tell you, and brought you into their struggle, and didn't hey, Edward Joseph, and didn't tell and wouldn't tell you, wouldn't let you know, and so now you are walking by yourself, lonely, without any direction around what to do. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. You ain't equipped for this. You're not prepared for this. You're not a psychologist. You're not a sociologist. Some of you might be, but I'm just speaking in, in within the confines of average people. You don't know what this is. All you know is you're feeling some kind of way, and you don't know how to interpret your feelings because you've been made to feel like you're not good enough. Hey, Chantel, you've been made to feel like you're not good enough, when in fact you are good enough. They just didn't keep it real with you. And in some cases, you didn't keep it real with yourself. I alluded to earlier signs. Signs are always prevalent. They're always around. You always see. But sometimes we choose to overlook it because we feel like we have to make things happen within a certain time. Sometimes we put our goals and we have our goals set, and we're walking through our goals, and we're crossing out. We're crossing. We're lining up. Okay, I got this done. I got this done. I got this done. And and one of them goals was, I got to be married by the time I'm 25, or I got to be married by the time I'm 30. And so you are so fixated on getting the goal accomplished that you don't look at what's happening along the way. Don't ever lose yourself. And if you have lost yourself, get yourself back. Get yourself back. I'm not going to tell you to leave your spouse. I'm not going to tell you to leave your spouse, but you got to make a decision on what's best for you. You got to make a decision on what's safe for you. And what's safe for you is physically and emotionally. You got to figure this out. You got to walk through this, because you got to make some strong considerations, because it is too toxic It's too evil to deal with without bringing in some reinforcement. But a decision has to be made. A decision has to be made. Now, if you find out that this individual is literally uh, engaging in activities that are conducive to uh, their life that they're secretly living, and you find out, you have to make that hard decision to move on. The first thing I'm gonna say to you all is forgive yourself. What's up, Kenny? Forgive yourself. Um, Embrace yourself, because you got deceived into a situation. You got roped into a situation that you wasn't really ready for, and you didn't know what was happening. You didn't understand the dynamics around it. You didn't understand the dynamics. So, you didn't know you didn't know how to maneuver in that thing. And, if you got with this person and you had knowledge of who they were before you came into their life, or before they came into your life, you have to work through the process of dealing with that. You have to be spiritually mature enough to work through that, and say, okay, now this person was upfront with me. This person was upfront with me, and this person let me know who they used to be before we got together. They let me know. They let me know who they used to be before we got together. So you equipped now with information. Information is critical. Information is critical because you got to know what to do. It's critical, but you got to know what to do with the information. And you got to be real with you and say, and ask yourself the hard questions. Am I equipped enough to manage this process? Because trust me when I tell you, the little things you struggle with, the things that you used to do in your life, and you stop doing them, those things come up all the time, don't they? Don't they come up all the time? They come up all the time. You used to be a hustler, you have an issue, hustling come up. You used to be, a prostitute, used to be a pimp, used to be a dope dealer, used to be whatever it was, white collar criminal, whatever it was that God delivered you from, whatever it was that you used to struggle with, lying, cheating, whatever it is, opportunities to do it always come to the forefront. So when you consider that you struggling with your own stuff on a regular basis, that you just, you just moving through life and it just comes up, it just comes up, you just, you're not even tripping sometimes and it just comes up. It shows itself up and you like, oh, wow, where this come from? You sometimes wasn't even thinking about it and it just shows up. And you like, wow, okay, how I'm gonna manage it? What I'm gonna do? So if these things are coming up with you, you don't think that that's not gonna come up with them? It's gonna come up. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. It's gonna come up. And if this person is not committed, hear me say, they're not committed and they're not disciplined, because you watching them, you know, you see what's going on. If they're not disciplined in certain particulars, yeah, Edward Joseph, yeah, it's a good topic. Thank you. If you're not, if you saying that they're not disciplined in certain things, um, you know that something could happen and they could be overtaken in that thing, and now it's starting to be back into the dynamics of their life, you all's life, and you're like, okay, what are we gonna do? What's gonna happen? How am I gonna deal with this? Where's you got to consider this. This needs to be considered. So take the time to watch the signs, to discern what is going on. And I'm talking to those that are spiritual people, and those that are maybe not so spiritual. Discernment is like this. Discernment is connected to the conscience. Notice I didn't say conscience. I said the conscience. The conscience is that part of the spirit of you that gives you a warning. It gives you a knowing of what is happening within you. It gives you a knowing of what is happening within you. Um, I'm gonna give you a quick lesson, real quick, on what happens in discernment with the power of discernment. Watch this. You ever go into a setting and you start feeling some kind of way, and this is not who you are. The way you're feeling is not your thing, but you're starting to take on the energy, and you're like, why am I feeling this? What's going on? And you sometimes, if you're not careful, you will think that is you that is actually feeling, that is actually experiencing, or this you that is struggling. But no, it's not you. Hey, lovely Lewis, how you doing? It's not you. It is actually you discerning. It's the conscience letting you know, so that something is not right. At the fall of man, the only thing that lived through the fall was the conscience. The rest of the dynamic of who you are, the super intellectual, the super intelligence, that you moved in before the fall of man, all of that left, and now your spirit man died. Your soul man started to live, and it started to take precedent, and it started to move the rest of you. The conscience is the part that lived, and that conscience lets you know what is going on with you. So I'm saying that to say discernment is a real dynamic that never leaves you. Discern what's going on around you. Pray, seek God, go after God. Um, hey, Vonda, go after God, because He will show you, He'll teach you, He'll bring you out. Um, and if He don't want you out, He'll come in it with you, and He'll take you through a process. This is why I can't say, this is why I can't tell you to leave your spouse if you find out that they're gay. You can't. They're living a homosexual lifestyle within the dynamics. Around the dynamics. Look at this, y'all. Around the dynamics of what is going on. You have every right, according to the scripture, to leave if you find out that this is how they're living their life. And this applies to other areas as well. But we just happen to be talking about this prevailing issue that keeps coming up in the community of us that are trying to live our lives in a righteous place. And that goes for everybody that is trying to move in the direction of righteousness and wants to live their life in that's pleasing to God. Forgiveness is always the first thing that we have to do. We got to consider forgiveness. We got to consider staying the course first. We got to consider that part first. We got to consider forgiveness. And let me just drop this in here real quickly before I go. We have, hey Sharon, we have this thinking pattern or this thought, this cancel culture that is happening in our life. Hey Larry Lowe, that is happening in our world, is cancel culture. And so I heard some young people talking. I was listening to their talk in their podcast the other day, and the young lady talked about this whole thing about forgiveness. And so she said, this is what she said. She said she talked about forgiveness, and she talked about after you forgive, cutting this person out of your life. Cutting them out of your life, and you know, because I forgave you doesn't mean that I have to let you be around me anymore. You know, I forgave you. That's the only thing I have to commit to is forgiveness. After that, I don't have to deal with you no more. I got to cut you off. I got to just, I don't have to, and it is your choice. It's your choice. But watch this. Jesus teaches us that Peter comes to him and Peter says, how many times should I forgive somebody? Is it 7 times? And Jesus says to him, no. He takes it a step further, and he says, you forgive them 7 times. I believe it's 7. So the point I'm getting at is second chances are innate in the whole concept of forgiving. Second chances are supposed to be within the parameters of forgiveness. It's a built-in proclivity. So we always got to consider forgiveness first. We always got to consider bringing the person at least to some, or give, I don't want to say bring, but give the person some access to you. What's going on, Brother Weston, Pastor Weston? How are you, man? Karen Taylor, how are you? Trailer, I'm sorry, Karen, how are you? It has to be considered in the process. Now, if you just can't forgive because of the hardness of your heart, then now we, hey Sal, now we gotta just move on. I mean, we gotta move on because I cannot in no way cause you to take me down with you in bitterness. So if you choosing to go away, that is not the way that I have to go through, that I'm willing to go through, that I'm fighting hard to go through. I have to let you go. I got to. You can't stay in situations that are degrading to your being. You gotta let it go, y'all. You gotta let it go. And if you gay, and I'm not saying nobody on here is gay, I'm not saying any of that, but somebody gonna see this video, other than those that have come on to view it. Somebody's gonna see this video, and I'm gonna say this to you straight up. If you're gay, don't marry a heterosexual person. Don't do it to them. There's a whole lot of people in your world that would love to marry you. But don't bring somebody that is trying to live their life heterosexually, that want to be with the opposite. That's right, Sal. That want to be with the opposite sex. Homogeny is not in their life. It's not even in their thinking patterns. They have no desire to do that. Don't bring them into that. Don't do that to them. Go be with your kind. Go be with your kind. And let them be with their kind. Give them a chance. Give them a chance to be able to experience love the right way, love the pure way. Because the kind of love that you're going to give them is of detriment to them. Hey, Denisha, it's of detriment to them. It's going to take them down a path that they aren't ready for, because they wasn't built for it. They wasn't built for that. That's not the life that they was built for. Their life was built around procreation. The detriment to themselves. That's right, Edward. Their life was built around procreation. So they structured their life around being with somebody and building a family with them, and building the community with them, building legacy with them. Their life wasn't structured around dealing with you and your kind. Stop hiding behind your masculinity and your femininity, you know, and leading people astray because you today you want to be this way, and then tomorrow you don't, and then you're taking them on these journeys that they no, don't do it to them. Let people go. Let people live their life. You live your life. You go and you be who you gonna be. You be who you are. Let them go and be who they are. Man, it's that's why that's yeah, that's right, Denisha. It's not fair. That's right, Sal. It's happened. It happens so often, and this is why I'm dealing with it, because it's people getting married and people getting with people, and you ready to make it happen, and then all of a sudden it's a stop gap here. What is going on? You can't, and you're not prepared for it, so you're not really ready to deal with this. You're not willing to deal with this. You're not really, because you're not equipped. You haven't been prepared for that. You ain't been prepared for that. You have not been prepared for that. Folk will take you and they'll make you have, watch this, they'll make you have a self-condemnatory internal complex. They'll make you be complexed up about who you are, when in fact that's who they are. Because you got to be struggling with something to bring me into this. What is going on with you? Why are you bringing me into this? Why are you bringing them into this? Why are you doing this to this person? Why? What is the purpose? What is the purpose of this? I know you're struggling, and I know, because and this is what's happening though, Sal, is they not keeping it real with themselves, okay? And they going into settings, and they want to be this way, and so they try to be straight, but then at the same time they tipping, and then they moving around in that thing. They doing their thing, but you know how we do it, man. We do we know how man. How people do stuff, man. We do our thing, and then we're struggling with just being real with ourselves, and we struggling to be real with who we are, and then it's things always coming up. There's always some temptation. There's always some evil. There's always some wickedness around. That's always trying to draw you away. If it's not your thing, it's not gonna bother you. If it's not your thing, it's not going to bother you. How you doing, Pastor Bryant, Joseph Bryant? If it's not your thing, hear me say this, y'all. If it's not your thing, it's not going to bother you. They can dangle it in your face all day. If it's not your thing, man, come on, man. You gonna keep. But if it's your thing, and they hey, daughter, if it's your thing, and they dangling your thing in your face, oh, it's gonna be an issue. And this is what the Bible tells us. It says you get carried away by your own lust. The devil has mastered. You miss me with that if it ain't my thing. The devil has mastered the the function of humanity. He's watched humans enough to know, to understand. Hey Shannon, enough to know and enough to understand what drives you, what moves you. Then what he does is if he don't know, if you don't give him access, and if you don't let him see, what you got going on, because contrary to popular opinion, the devil cannot read your mind. He watch your actions. And from watching your actions, because I can watch your actions, and your actions will tell me what's going on in your mind. Out of the abundance of the heart, what? The mouth speaks. There's a word, and it's called phone in the Greek. It's called phone, and it's spelled, watch this, it's spelled just like our word for phone, Phone. And this word phone, it's always connected to the word logos. Phone and logos are intimately connected to each other because phone represents the actions that are happening in the mind that are expressed out of the mouth. So phone expresses or is the other side of the mind. So Fournette says it like this, that the mouth is the other side of the mind. So the mouth and the mind are syntactically connected to each other. So Fournette expresses it. So it tells what is happening in your mind. It speaks it. It blares it out. It shows us what you do when you have an expressed thought. So the devil, he's watching your movement all day. So he knows what you, not because he can read your mind. We give him too much power that he just does not have. So again, if that's how you're gonna live your life, if you're gonna be gay and leave single folks alone. I'm sorry, leave straight people alone. Leave people that want to live their lives in the confines of heterosexuality. Like I said, there's a whole lot of people over here that love, that are same gender loving people, that will accept you for who you are. That's not to say we won't accept you for who we are, but don't marry a person and put them in a situation that they wasn't expecting and they didn't want and they wasn't ready for and they wasn't even thinking about. Don't take them down dark ages. Don't do that to them. Just let them go. Let them live their life. And you go and live yours. Nobody is going to condemn you for you wanting to live your life. That's your life. And if somebody is condemning you, so what? They condemning themselves. But just go be who you are and let them be who they are. Let them live how they planning to live, and so that God could bless their life. Again, if you're gay, stay with gay people. What's up, Brian Hunter? How you doing, Reverend? Good to see you, man. Hang out over there and live your life with them, and let these people live their life over here with their kind. And so that we could all get along. You save us that engage and talk with people and pray with folk and counsel with people, and we have to carry the burdens of other people along with ours. Let them be, so we could be. So we could be. It's already a struggle out here, just living this life, just living life. It's just stress just to open your eyes in the morning. Don't you think that folk that got a whole bunch of money ain't stressed when they open their eyes? Money don't fix all things. It answers all things. But it don't fix all things. So understand this as I close out with this. Hey, Terrence Nichols, I'm sorry you came in kind of on the late end. I'm about to close it out. I've been on here almost an hour and a half. In 7 minutes, it'll be an hour and a half. I'll close out with this. Life is too powerful. I'm going to say it like that. Life is too powerful for us to destroy it with chaotic and nuanced lifestyles. As prolific as life is, and there's always some give back. I know we talk to people all the time when people say they know it was over, but there's always some give back in this life. You might not get back to the status that you once were before you had your issue, but there's get back. And a lot of times that status you had before the fall was never probably meant for you to have in that space. So sometimes God will have to take you down, to move you around into the space that He wants you to be in. Hey, Shirley Mosby, how are you? That He wants you to be in. So sometimes embarrassment Sometimes these things have to happen, but there is some get back in this life as long as the blood is running warm in your veins. But this is too powerful. It's too powerful of energy. The energy of life is so prolific. And it's so diverse with so many different dynamics around within it that God created. Don't let folk come into that world and destroy what is what is a powerful source in nature. The human existence is the most powerful source in nature. Why it says it's so powerful and it's so prolific that God gave the human dynamic rulership over his creation. He put it in your hands. He did such a good job at it. The angels, the Bible says the angels are actually literally looking over heaven. They looking from heaven over like it's like a balcony, and they're looking at mankind, wondering what's so prolific about that energy that God would put so much into it. But just as powerful as it is, it could be distorted, rearranged, destroyed if not careful, by allowing things to come into it that never was supposed to come into it. If you didn't want that for you, then don't allow it to be for you. Don't allow it to be for you. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. I'm not saying that part is temptation. What I'm saying is the temptation to do and to get what you're trying to get done within that time frame. Because you got a time frame that you got to close certain gaps. And sometimes marriage is one of those that you gotta, you have it set. I have to have this thing done by the time I get a certain age. I'm gonna say this as I'm closing. There's always Ishmael before Isaac. Bless you all for coming on and joining us today. Hey, James Banks, man, how you doing, man? I ain't seen you in so long, man. Bless you guys for coming on with me today. Terrence Nichols, Shirley Mosby, and all the others that have come on with me. Thank you guys for joining us on tonight. I hope this is a subject that you can carry on in your different areas and in your different spheres of influence, because it needs to be talked about, because we know too many people. Hey, Tiffany, we know too many people that are struggling. We know too many people that is in this frame, and they don't know how to get out of that picture. So let's help them get free. Let's talk them through it. Let's pray them through, and watch God do what He does best. God bless you. I officially. It looked like that was Regina that just liked it. I didn't see you come on, Regina, but I just seen you liked it. I just seen your picture. Thank you for joining us. Um, be careful, y'all. Be careful. Be careful what y'all got going on. Be careful. Watch this thing. Pray this thing out. Live this thing out. Watch God do what He do. But don't be in a rush. You'd have waited this long, waiting a few more months, another year to watch and pray and seek God is not going to kill you. It's not going to um, make you lose anything more. Sometimes you got to step back and watch what's going on and pray that thing through, and talk it through, and just confront what needs to be confronted, and see what happens at the end. And once you take it through, basically what I'm saying is you got to criticize it, you got to critique it. And once you walk it all the way through, then you make that decision. And once you make that decision, you rock with that decision. It don't matter I don't care if you done paid all of the venues and you done took care of everything you need to take care of, and you see down the stretch that it's not right. Don't let your ego take you down. God bless you. Y'all have a good one. Thank you again. Good night.